Good morning, everybody. Welcome. I've got whipped cream in my coffee. In fact, one of the reasons I'm a little bit late is I was making my coffee and then there was not enough beans in the machine, so I had to add more beans and it just all took a lot more time, and then I decided, oh, I should have some whipped cream in my coffee, so then I had to do that. Hold on, I'm going to scoot my chair up. All right. So we're going to make a pretty card today. I hope you guys are ready to make something really pretty. I should say we're making two pretty cards. The giveaway. So how do you get in the giveaway? You guys know this. Unless you're brand new and you're watching for the first time. I do two cards during my Facebook Lives and then I give them away. So these I'll give away probably Tuesday. Whoops. And you get into the drawing. You get into the drawing by letting me know where you're watching from or making a comment of any kind, or by sharing this video with your stamping friends or with other crafty people in your life, or maybe on your timeline. Let people know about how much you love crafting, and that there are people like me out there that teach people how to do it. And so when you do that, be sure you come back to the video here and let me know that you've shared. I also really enjoy keeping this up for a few days because that way, if you can't watch while we're live, you still have time to comment and share when we're not live, and your name still goes into the drawing. So it's really fun. And everybody is always very appreciative that I do leave that drawing open a few days. So welcome. Oh, look at where you're all from. We've got East Coast, West Coast, Midwest. How fun. I see a lot of you are excited about this Field of Flowers bundle. It's so pretty. Let me see. I've got the card right here. Oh, and I didn't even, so I made all this big deal about telling you how to get the card as part of the giveaway, but I forgot to show you what we're actually giving away. So I'll show you that in a second. But here's the card. And then the giveaway is going to be a half pack of the champagne rhinestones because we're using champagne rhinestones on our card today. So it's really pretty and fun. All right. So let me have another sip of my coffee. It's just the perfect temperature. Does anyone else have coffee today? I know a lot of you go get a cup of coffee before you watch me live because, you know, it's a big deal. And also, if you're one of my customers, you should have by now received your holiday catalog. Well, I shouldn't even really, it's not a, well, I don't know. I'm just old school and call it a holiday catalog, but it is your official August through December mini catalog from Stampin' Up! So it's kind of exciting because we get to order from it a whole month early. So for those of us that really enjoy making Halloween cards, and I'm going to tell you, I really don't enjoy making Halloween cards, but for those of you that do, you're going to love this because you're going to get all your Halloween supplies a whole month sooner, which is awesome. I prefer making more fall cards, Thanksgiving cards, thinking of you cards, thankful cards. Fall is such a good time to send out appreciation notes. Of course, any time of year is a good time to send out appreciation notes, but fall is just one of those special times where it's just fun. It's so much fun to do things with fall leaves and all that stuff. So you know, it's all there in that new catalog that you should have received by now. If you did not and you're one of my customers, let me know because I want to make sure that you have that amazing fall catalog in your hands. And on Tuesday, it goes live for our customers. Now, I have to tell you something else that's really, really great news for those of you that have been thinking about becoming a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, whether it's to get your products at cost or maybe to start your own business on the side. Did you know that starting August 1st, you will be able to put the new Stampin' and Cut and Emboss machine into your starter kit? Yes! Like the only people that get the new Stampin' and Emboss machine in August will be demonstrators or people who are getting that in their starter kit when they join Stampin' Up! So, you know, hey, It's a good time. It's a good time to think about joining Stampin' Up! And doing all of your fun fall, holiday, Christmas cards all at a discount. Just think how much money that would save. It would be great. You could get a big discount from Stampin' Up! Towards all of your holiday purchases, towards your holiday gifts, because there's some wonderful kits. You can make advent calendar. It's just going to be awesome. So anyway, I will provide a link on this video so that you can check out a little bit more about joining my team of creative crafters. And then I will update all that information on August 4th when the promotion goes live. All right, so I think it is time to get started here. You know what, if you can't hear me, there's a good chance, because I'm speaking at the same volume that I always speak, you can always just up the volume on whatever you're listening to. I often have to do that myself. I have to turn my volume up on my computer or on my iPad or on my iPhone, because sometimes we don't even realize it, but sometimes we accidentally hit those buttons and then the volume goes down. But I'm speaking my normal voice. All right, so let me go ahead and I am going to start crafting here. I'm going to flip the camera down so you can see what we're doing. I got so excited talking about all the things that are coming out. So give me a second here to flip this down and we'll get going. All right, that looks like it's showing up in the picture, yippee. And what are we going to do here? I'm going to show you what the inside looks like first, because we always stamp our inside. Because what do people do when they get a card? No matter how beautiful it is on the outside, the first thing they do is open it up. There you go. There's the inside panel, and it's decorated very sweetly, and it's very pretty, just like the outside. So there we go. Oh, Kathy's telling me my volume goes in and out as I move back and forth in my chair. You know, that could be true. I am so sorry. So apparently I was leaning back, enjoying my coffee, and you were not able to hear very well. So I do apologize for that. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with this. I am going to show you, we are using some in colors on this. Well, one in color in particular. It's called Just Jade. And this is the assortment of in colors that we have. And we're actually going to take a piece of paper from the 6x6 in color pack, and we're going to be using this little bubble design here in the Just Jade. So that will be all ready to go here in a second. And what we're going to do is we're going to start with our card base first and get that out of the way. So we've got, and we're making two cards because there's two cards in the giveaway. We've got a 5.5 by 7.25 piece of cardstock, and then I've gone ahead and just scored it at 4.25. So that's a little different size than what you would normally see happen. But what you do is when you fold along that scoring spot. So let me grab my bone folder and get this ready. So I've got both of these scored. I use my Simply Scored tool from Stampin' Up. Works great. And it looks like this because we want a flap in the front that's going to show off this pretty designer series paper in the background. So that's the point of having that kind of weird measurement. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take our 1.5 inch strips of the designer series paper in Just Jade that we're going to use to decorate part of our inside panel. And it's also going to show through to the outside. So how awesome is that? So this again is a 1.5 inch strip. And I'm going to use some of our new adhesive. It's called Stamp and Seal. And we're going to flip it over here. And what I like to do is I like to just put this up on top of my card, and then because I've cut this a little bit longer, well actually I didn't even cut it at all, I just cut it into strips because I'm going to trim this even with the edge. So I'm just going to take my Stamp and Seal, and it's so sticky you just really don't need that much, and I keep forgetting that I don't want to do the check mark. Remember Fast Fuse, we always had to do the check mark? With Stamp and Seal, and I've got another chance to show you here, you actually tilt it up and pull it back, and that way the seal always stays at the end. So you really don't use very much Stamp and Seal to get this perfect, the perfect amount of adhesive because it's extra sticky. All right, so there we go. There's the first one down, and I'm going to take my snips here. Stampin' Up sells these really sharp little scissors, And I'm just gonna cut that even with the edge. That way you don't have to worry about being super precise, and it will look very precise once that card front is folded away. Let me grab my little wastebasket. All right, so again, let me give you a better chance of showing you how to do this. And the reason I put it here is that way I know where to stop, because I don't want to get a bunch of sticky on my scissors. So in the past, when I would use Stampin' Up's previous adhesive, which was called Snail, I would be running down, and use a lot of adhesive. But this new adhesive, as I mentioned, is pretty sticky, so you don't really need to use that much. So we're just going to use some here at the top. I'm going to kind of go at a kitty corner and pull it back like that. And then we'll put some in the middle, pull it back, and then we'll turn it around and we'll put a little here. There we go. So now you just really don't need that much. As I mentioned, super sticky. When you're putting something super sticky down, you want to start in one corner and get it all lined up just right there in the corner first, because you don't want to just hoover it above, drop it down, and then try to lift it up. It's kind of hard that way. And then you can see how you can kind of move it right where you need it to go. If you have the corner lined up, everything else is going to line up pretty well. Then bring it down, and you're just going to take your scissors and go ahead and cut this off. Another thing you can do is, if you're like me and you like a little bit of wiggle room, go ahead and use our multi-purpose liquid glue. That's also a pretty surefire way to get your papers in just where you want them. All right, so the next thing that we're going to need is we're going to need some panels here to stamp. And I'm going to share a little trick with you. If you don't want to cut a whole bunch of different measurements for a card, make sure that your inside image panel and your outside image panel are cut at the same size. It just eliminates some extra cutting that you would have to do. So let me grab those Whisper White panels. Oh, I'm also grabbing out my color schemes here. This is what I chose to do for this card. Look how pretty that looks together. We've got Just Jade, Flirty Flamingo, and Petal Pink. So pretty together. So that's what we're doing this in. But as I mentioned, to save a little time, cut your inside and outside panels exactly the same. So these are cut at 3.5 by 4 3/4. And we're going to stamp these panels, excuse me, right now and get that done. So let me bring in some scrap paper here. Now this is going to be a little annoying because you're not going to be able to see white on white as readily. What I can do is bring this little Stampin' mat in. And now I'm going to grab my inks. And we're only using 2 ink colors on this card, Just Jade and Flirty Flamingo, so I can open these up and get them ready. And then let me show you what we're doing here with this bundle. So this is what the bundle looks like for Field of Flowers. And I've actually, since I've done this Facebook Live on Tuesday where we used it, I have had several people order it from me, and I'm very happy to see you ordering the bundle. And then I had a couple of people who went back and ordered either just the stamp set or just the punch because you didn't get it the first time. So it's nice to have it together. So when Stampin' Up! Does offer a bundle opportunity, I think it's better to be safe than sorry and just get it all at one time and save this. Uh-oh, did you see that? Save the 10% right off the bat. Well, that's way up here, so I hopefully won't get everything inky. Oh my goodness. All right, so let's just go. So what we're doing is we've inked it up, and we are going to stamp it right here at the bottom. And then I'm going to look for, hold on. I need to wipe that off or something. I might end up getting it on something, and since I'm giving these cards away, I don't want that to mess things up. All right, I just used my my handy dandy chamois. All right, so there's the first one. We're going to do the second one since we have it right here. And we're gonna go ahead and stamp that little field of grass right there. All right, then the next thing we want to do is we want to take the big stem that looks like this, and we're going to stamp that right here into the grass. So I think we're just going to put this right about here. And we're going to do the exact same thing on the other card that we're using. Perfect. And then for our inside panels, wait, I'm going to finish up all the green on the front and then we'll do the inside. I get a little distracted sometimes. So now we're inking up the always because that's also green. We'll bring this back in and we're going to stamp this right here at the top. Just like so. So one more time for our second giveaway card. Whoa, that was crazy. I better not mess that up. There we go. Okay, then the very last thing that we're going to stamp on the front of our card is a little dragonfly. But we're going to wait with him because we want to get our flowers in place before we stamp the dragonfly. So I'm just going to set this aside for a second. And we're going to bring those other two panels in that are cut the same as our front panels. And we're going to stamp those. So the sentiment, thinking of you, is going to be stamped in the Just Jade. And we're just going to stamp it, oh, I suppose maybe not quite a third of the way down. Just like this, right in the center. And then we're going to switch ink colors here. So we're going to bring in the Flirty Flamingo, and I've got a cute little flower stamp, and we're just going to stamp some little flowers here just like this by the thinking of you. So let's do 3 of them, just because things look good in 3s, right? There we go. So that's the inside panel. That's all we're doing for the inside panel. So we can put this part of it away for a second. Let that dry a little bit. Oh my goodness. Okay, then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take the double set of flowers that you saw me use on Tuesday, and we're going to ink that up again with Flirty Flamingo, and we're going to put that right here. And because it's photopolymer, you're able to see through these stamps, and you'll know right where to put it. So there's one. And here is the other. Perfect. All right, now we're ready for the dragonfly. So we're going to grab him and we're going to ink him up in our Just Jade, and we're going to stamp him right here, kind of zooming in to check out that flower. Do that on both of these. Perfect. Okay. So this is almost done, but we have to use the other part of our bundle. So all of the stamping is done. So let me go ahead and put away all of my inks here so I don't mess anything up. And then what you want to do is you want to grab a piece of scrap paper that is in Flirty Flamingo. And unfortunately, I forgot my scrap paper. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you a very good little paper tip. All right, so let me put this aside. And some blocks aside so we don't accidentally put our card into it. So like I mentioned, I forgot to get my scrap of Flirty Flamingo. So I am going to show you a little tip of how you can use your main panel, but you're going to be hiding the punch out. So as you notice on our actual card, we have this lovely panel right here on the front that our stamped image panel is going to go on top of. So take your panel that you're going to use. This is cut at 3 3/4 by 5 inches. And then take your confetti flower punch, which is part of the bundle, and you are going to just punch out that confetti set of flowers And this will be hidden because when you put your panel over the top, you will not see those little punch outs. So it's kind of a good little way to be more efficient with your paper, or if you're like me and you just like forget to put things on your desk. All right, so there we go. So there's one set. Here's the other set. So let me get this out of the way for a second. And let's bring our panels in here. All right, so I showed you how to make homemade mini glue dots the last time we got together. So this time I'm going to be lazy and not use them. So we have 4 bigger flowers and 2 itty bitty tiny flowers. So we're just gonna put those little itty bitty tiny flowers aside, and we're not gonna use those because I'm just not patient enough or feeling patient enough to make the mini glue dots. So we're gonna leave those there. Then the fun part for me is taking these flowers that are a little bit bigger and just stacking them up on my roll of glue dots here. This, to me, I love doing this. I think I could just do this all day long. I should work in a factory because I love to do repetitive things. It's so weird. All right, so we're just gonna keep on going until we have all 8 of them on a glue dot. And here's the last one. Then we're just gonna scatter these flowers out and about in the grass. So I'm gonna take my take your pick tool, and I'm just gonna start with one here, and we're just gonna drop these in wherever. So there's no real rhyme or reason where we're putting them other than put 3 on this side and 1 on the other side of that flower. So just like that, kind of make them go up and down. So we're going to put 1 here, 1 here, one here, and then 1 more just right in there. Isn't that just so cute? But we're gonna make them even cuter because I mean they're cute enough just like that, but we're gonna make them even cuter in a second. But let's go ahead and put these on our panel so we can get this out of the way. All right, so we're gonna flip it over and we're going to apply our stamp and seal. So I'm just gonna put it at the top and the bottom. And you can see how I'm using this. I'm just flipping it back a little bit. There we go. And now to get it on to your panel, just grab your corners on opposite ends, so your kitty corner, and then you're gonna hoover it over the top, and then you're looking here and here to make sure it's all lined up evenly. So if it's even in these 2 corners, then you can pretty much count on it being even in the other 2 corners, provided you've cut it straight. There we go. So now this will be hidden when we put it onto our actual card front. So we're gonna do the same thing here. Just hoover it over the top, make sure the 2 corners that you can see are even, and then drop it down. And there we go. All right, so now it's time to put this panel onto the front of our card, which is going to be easy because we're just going to use dimensionals, and it's pretty much going to take up the whole front of the card. So we can just drop these in pretty confidently. And we'll just do 5 on each one. So there's 1. And the reason I'm putting it on the actual front of my card base is because if I actually put it on the panel, I don't quite know where to stop. Because when you open up your card, let me show you. When you're opening up your card, you don't want your dimensional showing on this side. And it seems like that is such an easy mistake to make. Ask me how I know, because I've done it 100 times if I've done it once. And so I've just learned that when I'm doing this now, I go ahead and put it right on the front of my card. And then I'm not fretting over the fact that I've got a dimensional or a glue dot or tape or something else showing on the other side. So then just take all those little peelies off. And then we're going to put our card front right on. All right, so grab your card front. Don't worry, we're going to put the finishing touch of the rhinestones on in just a second. But what we want to do is we want to make sure that this looks right, because you want this to be all even. And the easiest way to do it is to hover it over the border over here, because you want all 3 sides of that green border to be about equal. And when you do that and you drop it in, then this will be equal too. So there we have one card, and we're going to do the same thing over here. Again, hold it up away from your dimensionals. Drop it in on the green border over here that's showing through from the inside. And then when that looks nice and even to you, drop it down over the top of the dimensionals, and this will all be even as well. So there we go. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take, whoops, I have to run grab them. I did not put them in at my desk, but we're going to grab some rhinestones. I have my little extras in a little baggie. I could have just opened this pack, but I want to keep all of these nice and pristine and then divide the pack among our winners. So I have a little extras pack here. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the littlest, tiniest champagne rhinestones. Oh my gosh, they're so pretty. Hold on. And then we're going to take your pick tool, and this time I'm going to use the putty part, because it picks up rhinestones super great. So just kind of slide them off, and then you're just going to set it right onto those tiny little flowers that look so cute. Like, they're way cute. Like, they're cute anyway, but then when you add a rhinestone, they're just way, way cuter. Except I had a little piece of putty come off. I've never had that happen before. So if something has never happened to me before, 100% guaranteed to happen to me on a video. All right, we'll keep going here. And let's go ahead and place the rest of these rhinestones. So 4. Oh my gosh, so cute and sparkly. Don't worry, I didn't forget. I know I have to put the inside panel on. I think some of you guys are like, whoa, she forgot the inside panel. I didn't. I have them right here. I see them. Just haven't quite got there yet. We'll get the whole front just beautiful. And then we will work on the inside panel. There it is. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. Okay. Woo. Just drop something here. Okay, so now let me grab my inside panels, and we want these nice and loose and flowing, so we're just going to flip these over. We're just going to put a little bit of our Stampin' Seal right at the top on both of these. We're going to pick it up, and we're going to hoover it over. So again, all you're doing is just making sure that the top and the bottom and the right, use this as your guide, and if that all looks good and even, then press it down. And then when you close it, you won't see it. See? It lines up perfectly. All right, so we're going to do the same thing for this one. Just open it up, make sure all of these borders are even, and when they are, press it down, and it's perfect. All right, so guess what, you guys? We did it! We just stamped another set of beautiful cards with the Field of Flowers bundle. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining me today. if you are interested in getting a holiday paper share from me, I am doing my perfect paper shares. Any blog post over the last week at stampingtoshare.com will have a link to my perfect paper shares. I got several signups yesterday when I sent out my customer newsletter, because if you sign up before the 3rd, you get in on the first round of shares, which I will order on the 4th. So do be sure to check that out, and you guys have a wonderful weekend. We'll talk to you soon. Bye, everybody.